morning everyone, and welcome back to another Adventure Sparks video. If you're new here, my name is Daniel, and today we are doing another truck talk episode. This will be episode 2. We haven't done one of these for quite a while now, so I thought, why not we go back? Last time we answered some questions that everyone had, and I thought, why not we go back through all the comments that we've had throughout the few years that we've been doing Adventure Sparks and just go through them, since we haven't really done that in a while. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, so this is in no particular order. It's just kind of like the comments that I saw, and basically we're just going to go through them, read through them, and talk about them. So we've got this comment here from Epro Hoda. I think I'm butchering that name a little bit, but I'm so sorry if I did. But he asks, how's everything going, and breathtaking to our Bavianskloof Pass trip in part 4, where we are on our way home. So to answer your question, it's going great. Obviously that trip was like a year ago, so my apologies for only getting back to it now. But yeah, it's going great. Adventure Sparks is going great. The trips coming up that we've got planned, and the trip that we've just done, which I think by the time this video comes up, it's just finished being uploaded in its entirety, where we went to Tankwa, was amazing. And yeah, that trip was really breathtaking. I would recommend, if you have your own 4-wheel drive or just are down to go do a trip, definitely go do that one. It was great. Then we've got this comment from 1 month at a time. Sorry, I butchered that really badly. They said, this campsite looks super private with stunning surrounding views, with a smiley face. Yes, the Tabani campsite is really private, and the views you get there are incredible. They are unmatched by anything else that I've seen. The campsite itself is also beautiful. Unfortunately, I was not there personally to experience it. It was a trip that my mom, my dad, and my brother went on, whilst I was busy working at a camp that I was working at the time. And yes, the photos that I saw, the videos that I saw, and the footage that I had to put together in the edit I was jealous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very, very jealous. So yes, it is a stunning campsite. Then we've got Arno Smith commenting, Daniel, thank you so much for being so assistive in the whole process, already having such a ball with this vehicle. Now, for those of you that don't know and who are new to this channel, I used to have a 1998 3-liter V6 Mitsubishi Pajero short wheelbase that I used to have. That was my first 4x4 vehicle, and it was a incredible vehicle. It was so much fun to drive with. I'd basically done all the modifications from the ground up. I built my own draw system in the back, bought myself a easy on rooftop tent, canvas rooftop tent, that I put on the roof, and basically built it up to what it was. And then I decided to sell it. It was one of the most heartbreaking days of my life, because obviously I'd owned the car since I was 16, and when I turned just before I turned 19, I decided to sell it. The reason being, I've always wanted a bakkie. I just love bakkies in general, and for camping and 4x4ing, I prefer and love the way that you can kit out and modify a bakkie, or 4x4 pickup truck, depending on where you are or where you're from. And I wanted a little bit of a bigger vehicle, because how I'd set up the Pajero, I'd set it up that basically it was only the drivers and the passenger seat available for use when driving, and that meant that I couldn't take friends with, I couldn't take family with in my vehicle. It was basically me and one other person, which for the time was great, but it slowly started to not be anymore as I started meeting new people that wanted to go camping with me. They were interested in camping but didn't have their own four-wheel drive, and so I made the decision to sell the vehicle and then obviously purchase the Mitsubishi Colt Rodeo that I have now. And Arnu is the very amazing gentleman that bought the Pajero for me. So Arnu, if you're still watching Adventure Sparks, I hope that you are still having an amazing time with the Pajero. If you still have my number, send me a WhatsApp. Would love to know how it's going with you and find out the amazing trips that you have been on so far with the family. Antonio Perez J27 said, "Hey bro, great video. I wanted to ask, I'm thinking of getting my first 4x4 and a Colt is on the list, and what buckies would you recommend? I wanted to also ask what are the price ranges for these buckies and what engine choice would be the best." So I did respond to this comment, I know, a little while back, and we had a little bit of a chat in the comment section if you guys want to go look at the full chat. But basically, Antonio, great question. I have no issues with my Mitsubishi Colt Rodeo whatsoever. I know when I bought it, a lot of people were telling me about all the issues that I might encounter, such as it overheating and basically overheating, blowing something, and people saying that the four-wheel drive capabilities are on the Colt Rodeo are not that great. But I've now owned the vehicle for coming up in May will be a year now, and I've got no issues. I've never blown anything on the vehicle. The four-wheel drive is not only great but sometimes outperforms that of some of my friends' vehicles, which we won't name names or brands, but sometimes it outperforms the 4x4 capabilities of that of other vehicles. And for me, the Colt is it's so simple. I've put my own touchscreen display in, put my own VHF UHF radio in, and there's not much else to it. I mean, there's no big electrics that I need to be worried about that you would find on your newer vehicles that you need to watch out for. Everything is majority mechanical, not really electrical, which I prefer, which is actually very nice. So it's a lot less that I need to worry about when it comes to being off-grid or off-road and maybe not having the opportunity to fix anything on the road, or just be able to put into mechanic shop and be able just ask them to fix it, and I can do it myself on the road, which I really like. So I would say yes, the Mitsubishi Colt Rodeo, awesome vehicle if you're looking for a first four-wheel drive, or if you're looking to get into the bucky side of 4x4ing, definitely a good choice. With regards to the engine choice, you can get, as far as I know, it's more of the workhorse, but a 2-liter petrol Mitsubishi Colt Rodeo. You can get the 2.8 that I've got, turbo diesel, and then you can get the 3-liter V6. Now, personally, I'm a little bit biased. I like myself a diesel engine, so I would say the 2.8 diesel or turbo diesel is really good. I have no issues with it whatsoever. But if you're looking for more power, the 3-liter V6 is also a very good option. It all depends on you, what you're looking for. I would recommend the 2.8 TDI, but it is obviously at the end of the day your choice. And then with regards to asking prices for these buckies, they range from 70 to 130,000 rand. It all depends on what condition you're getting it in, how many kilometers you're getting it in, what's been added to it, etc. So anything from 70 to 130,000 rand. I literally saw one the other day, basically the same model as mine, that was going for 130 with 195,000 kilometers on it. So it all depends on what you find. Also, it's interesting fact, something I found out the other day, the reason why I've now started to like this vehicle even more than what I was already doing, I found out the other day that the chassis on this thing, on the Colt, is built so big and tough that it is built for weight, built for load. So we were talking to a mechanic the other day, and he was saying that, like, because we were just talking about vehicles and different brands and everything, and he was saying that a lot of the other vehicles are built for, you know, speed, power, and not really for load anymore, and that then causes the chassis to bend between the cab and the buck, and then the buck obviously starts to buig a bietjie, whereas this one, they said, is built so tough that it won't, which is why you also, if you've been driving around South Africa, you'll see a lot of these types of vehicles towing like big trucks, big boats, heavy loads, which I thought was very interesting. Anyway, then we've got Theonazen. I'm sorry if I butchers the surname a bit, but he says, what camera did you use to film this? Looks great. So we used to do all our filming on a mixture of a Samsung and a Sony camera, and not these big professional cameras, just like a small like pocket camera that we used to do our filming on. But that was, obviously this is from the Baviaanskloof past trip, so that was right in the beginning, when we started the channel. So if you go look back from this video back to that video, you'll see the image quality has changed a lot. So those cameras were quite old, in that like they were already old when we were using them at that time, which made them now it made them obsolete. So we kind of moved on from that, and we looked into buying big professional cameras, but for us that isn't going camping like every weekend. We kind of go camping once a month, and do one big trip like the Tanko trip once a year. It didn't really warrant such a expensive and big camera, so now we do most of our recording on our phones. So this video is being recorded on my iPhone 15, and then it gets recorded from my dad's iPhone 13, my mom's iPhone 13 Pro, or my brother's iPhone 16, and we just sort of share the footage around as well as the photos, and then I put it all together in one video and post it out, and that's how basically all our footage is done. From Amy, which is, you are definitely a glamper. The setup is too luxurious to be considered camping. So this is one of my friends that we had an argument a while back, like this comment says 11 months ago, where we were having an argument between whether what we do on Adventure Box is glamping or camping, or which category it would be put in, which one it would be considered as. Now I consider it to be camping. We've just made life a bit easier. We've started with using a nylon tent, which when we were still living in Pretoria, got torn to shreds by the wind in Marakele, a beautiful campsite there. And then at that time we were also camping with a dual axle fender trailer that we kind of built to be a camper, and then from that we moved on to having a canvas tent. So we bought the Tenco massive canvas tent. I mean, I think our tent alone with like an extra gazebo that we used to carry around was 10 meters long, maybe a little bit less, but it was big. It was modular, so you could make it an L shape, you could make it a straight line, make it a square, whatever you wanted. But we moved on to that, and then from there we moved on to the Echo 4x4 trailer, Echo 4 as far as I know. And then we camped for that for a while, and then my dad bought the rooftop tent, which was the canvas one, which I had on my Pajero. And then Matthew and I kind of just started camping in pop-up ground tents. And then when I got my vehicle, I inherited the canvas tent. He bought the Alucab hard shell rooftop tent, and obviously since then we've been camping in rooftop tents out of our vehicles. The reason for this, a lot of the places we want to go, we don't want to have to worry about towing a trailer, and some of the places mean that we are inaccessible without a trailer or with a trailer, and we don't want that issue. And also setting up the trailer took us an hour and a half. By the time we started, we got it down to an hour, whereas now with the tents, 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, and you set up, you're ready to go, you can make lunch, which is really, really nice. Camping out of the vehicle as well is also nice, because you don't have to you sort of see how much unnecessary stuff you carry around when you've got the more space. When you've got to start packing light, when you've got to start packing systematically, you realize how much of the stuff you don't actually need that you've been carting around in the trailer. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think we still camp. A lot of people that camp like us still consider camping. But if you think it's glamping, let us know down in the comments. Would love to see what you guys think. Then we've got Troopy in Africa. Troopy in Africa, thank you so much for commenting on this video. It actually means a lot more to me than you realize. So Troopy in Africa is another YouTube channel. If you want to and love what we do, definitely go check them out. They're an awesome channel. They say, cheers dude, nice bumping into you on the flight today. Now, we went up to Pretoria for my brother's taekwondo tournament. We went up to Pretoria for my brother's taekwondo tournament, and we saw him on the plane or flight up, and we went to go talk to him, because obviously we've been following his channel for quite some time, and it was just amazing to chat to him, to find out a little bit about him, and it was great meeting him. It's like they always say, you never want to meet your heroes, but I am super glad I met him. He is really good. So he's an awesome guy. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you ever see him, go up and say hello. There's a lot of knowledge and experience that you can learn from him. So Troopy in Africa, thank you so much. Hope everything's going well on your side. Can't wait to see the next trip. Then we've got Lenise, I think that's how you pronounce it. She says, sorry for your loss, Carlos. So this was in response to our Western Cape to Eastern Cape trip, where the Pajero that I had, the alternator, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but something broke, wouldn't start, and it had to spend a few days in the town that we're in there by Bontebok. Trying to remember the name, can't at the moment. And basically, yeah, I made a joke in the video saying "Ac es no Carlos." So yeah, because I had to pack everything in my dad's vehicle, and the guy allowed us to have a trailer, or you borrow his trailer and just bring it back when we came to pick up the vehicle. And we just packed everything there and went home. We were on our way home in any case. Got Danica, which she says, all nice if you have the money to do all that beautiful stuff. Where she's responding to my comments, my post saying camping with a family hits different. Now, look, I do understand where everyone's coming from. Yes, camping can look expensive. I know there's a few YouTube channels that I watched and I'm like, yo, that looks expensive. But it's really not that bad. You just got to find the places which suit you best, and which suit your budget best. You don't need a 4x4 like we have to go camping. If you want to go 4x4ing and touring, I would recommend it, but you also don't necessarily need it. Just choose the roads that don't need a 4x4. Basically, I've seen people go camping with their Toyota Yaris, and they just pack stuff in the back, gazebo tent they set up, and they have a lot of fun. They literally just pay for the campsite for the weekend. They take food from home and they go away. They don't need to buy extra food, and that's exactly what you can do if you're going camping for the first time. You don't need to spend hectic amounts of money to do so. If you're doing trips, yes, it does get a little bit pricey, but if you're just doing like a weekend away, for example, Azefontein, if you're doing a weekend from Friday to Sunday, it's 922 Rand. Yes, it looks and sounds expensive, bearing in mind you are then paying for a campsite, water and electricity for the weekend, which it's not that bad. And you can fit a maximum of, as far as I remember, 6 people per campsite, but you need to pay for the extra two vehicles, and then ground tents, which is really, that's great, in my opinion, because there's few campsites that actually only allow one vehicle and only like maybe 2 or 4 max people on a campsite. So yeah, and you're right there, you're camping like on the beach. It's beautiful. So yeah, definitely try camping. It's not as expensive as some people make it out to be, but depending on what you do, where you stay, it can get pricey. But that's why we are here trying to show that it's not as scary as what people make it look out to be, and not as expensive as what people look out to be. Also, I made a video not a while back where I broke down the pricing and budgeting for camping. If you want to go have a look, check out the channel and you'll go see it. Then it's Gamer for Life that says, awesome video, would love to see you guys do a road trip again soon. Our Tankwa trip is out now, go check it out. Yeah, I promise you will enjoy it, especially when we went through mud. Then Be Lacquer Please says, cool video and cool rig. I'm a cold bucky owner myself, and it's awesome to see how yours is set up. My 2.8 diesel engine is one of my favorite sounds in the world. I'd even say therapeutic. Well, Be Lacquer, I agree. Whenever I start my bucky in the morning, it gives me shivers down my spine. They always say that if you walk away from your bucky after locking it or in a parking lot and you don't look back and look at it, it's not the bucky for you. But I can tell you with great certainty, I'm probably walking backwards all the way into the shopping mall and looking at my bucky the whole time. I love it. And yes, the cold bucky 2.8 diesel engine, there's nothing that I would say sounds better than that. There's times where I even sit there and I feel sorry for people, especially when I drive into college in the morning. We've got underground parking, and driving in there, it's literally, I'll drive in there and it's very, very loud. The engine, it's not even the exhaust pipe, I don't have much done to it, but the engine is just by itself very, very loud. So driving in there, a few other students get there early and they kind of like got blankets and they're curled up and they're sleeping, which is something I also do. And I feel bad because I feel like I've woken them up, because I driving there, I'm like, yeesh, it's a bit loud, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And then we've got, damn, I'm not used to driving without seeing my back. How can I learn that? And that is from our Tankwa trip part 2. As you guys probably know, I've got the windows at the back, I've got the window right at the back of the canopy, but I've tinted the back so that it's a little bit more private inside there, no one can see in. But when we camp and packed fully, I can't see out of there, so looking through my rear view mirror or out the back, I can't see anything. Well, I don't know how you can learn to do that. I kind of just, it became like, okay, well, can't use a rear view mirror. I can if I'm not loaded, but it's kind of become to the point where I'm like, I can see when I'm not loaded. When I am loaded, I just got to rely on my side mirrors, knowing my vehicle and how the length of it and where it is and sits on the road, as well as my rear view camera. I've also got a rear view camera set up that looks at the back from the top down, so it does help. And then Tyler says, thanks for the video. Your father sounds like an awesome dude. Tyler, thank you so much. Yes, a lot of what I know and have learned and how much I love of camping is due to my father, and I'm really appreciative of it, to have a father like him that teaches me new things. Although sometimes we sit and we fight and we argue about it, I wouldn't have it any other way. He teaches me so much about camping, 4x4ing, and helps me a lot of the time when something breaks in my vehicle or when I need to fix something in my vehicle. He's kind of the one that's like, yo, let's do it like this, or come, let's do it. So yeah, my dad is a really awesome guy. And maybe I'm biased, but I love him to bits, and yeah, a lot of knowledge sitting with him, and I hope that I can get and learn as much knowledge as possible from him. Well guys, that's the end of all our comments. If you guys have any questions or comments that you'd like answered, please let me know down in the comment section below. Just write it out or type it out, and I will do another truck talk episode and get back to your comment as soon as possible. Guys, also we are on our way to 150 likes by the end of this year. We are 97. I am so happy, and we noticed that majority of you aren't subscribed. So please, if you enjoy this video or enjoy what we do and the camping videos we do, please hit that subscribe button to get notified for more trips that we do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep that spark for adventure going, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.